Hi, everybody. This is Chris.
And this is Matt.
And this, happily, is Wizard. At least it's happily for me. I don't know if it's happily for Matt.
Yeah, happily.
I'm just happy to get onto a fun game.
I know. We've had a run, but I think we're back on track.
Back on track for fun. Because that's what games should be. Games and hanging out with friends. And coffee.
Sharing laughs.
Sharing laughs.
Eating snacks.
Mm-hmm. That's what this is about. All right. So today we're talking about Wizard.
Yes.
1984, Commodore 64. Rumors of it on the ZX Spectrum.
Interesting.
I don't have much proof of that, though. So, if somebody has any footage or anything of it, like, point me at it, because I'd love to see what this looks like on the Spectrum.
Yeah.
Or ZX, as they say.
We didn't say that this is not a review. We've been slipping on that.
Oh my God, they're so close.
People are going to come and they're going to be like, I'm ready for this review of Wizard. And they're going to be like, that wasn't a review. That was a book club style discussion. Those idiots.
Oh, God, what
don't
do
they know
think
the
they're
difference?
doing reviews? Not doing reviews.
So
No.
it's not.
So, okay. Thank you, Matt. I will go through my spiel.
Do it.
This
I'm
is
ready.
not a review. This
No.
is every month we pick two games, a long game
Yes.
and a short game. This
Yes.
is the short game,
Yes.
where we play it for a day.
Correct.
And then we come back and talk about our experiences.
Yeah.
Loves, hates, pinnacles, pits, if you will. Some people say peaks, but they watch trash TV and don't deserve to be referenced.
If it's good enough for the Kardashians, I've totally changed my life by incorporating a lot of what the Kardashians do. Like, I got a bunch of containers for my pantry because that's what the Kardashians do, and it's really made everything better.
Mm-hmm.
So I think maybe you should back off.
And this brings us to the last point of my spiel. We occasionally go off topic. A lot.
Yeah. And the left lens of my glasses occasionally fogs up for no reason at all.
Your eyes just hot and steamy.
I know it is. The hottest eyes in the YouTube business.
Yeah. Now you got my glasses. Now I'm looking at all the smudges on my glasses. And
I
gotta clean
know.
them.
Everyone take a minute.
Everyone take a minute.
Clean your
Clean
eyewear,
glasses.
and then we're going to come back.
Fluff your beards. I know we've got a lot of glasses wearing beard people.
That's our
demographic.
Target audience. Yep.
Ladies. Anyway. So, come on, brain. We talk about the game. We're going to talk about our experiences. This is in no way, shape, or form a review or some sort of rating system on the game. It's just talking about the game. I'm going to pause here for a second on this screen because I want to talk about something on it when we get to it. But let's first, we do a little bit of history. 1984, Commodore 64, possibly ZX Spectrum. See what I just said before. Originally Progressive Peripherals and Software. Great name.
Can I just say that I did extensive research to try to find out if they made any
Other games?
peripherals,
Oh,
and I could not find any peripherals. But I can say that I think based on the writing in this game that they're just fans of alliteration, because like on that previous screen there's quite a bit of alliteration, so I think they probably never intended to make any peripherals anyway. That's my findings.
Before I get to this, let's talk about
Perilous Pitfalls, Wilfred the Wizard, Countless Corridors,
Perplexing Puzzles.
Yep. Progressive peripherals.
I also like these loading screens.
Me too.
They kind of set you up for the game, but interweave the text. It's fun. You kind of get a sense of like, okay, I see what I'm getting here. I know what I'm about to start doing.
Yep. At no time does Wizard give you more or less than what you're seeing right now. Like it there's not a ton to it, but it's like what it does decently well.
Done by Sean Moore and Stephen Luders. I was going to say Landers, but it's Luders. I have seen other people referenced in context with this, but I feel like they were stuck on as it transferred from peripherals to somewhere else. I forget where, and then EA eventually, which this is the EA version we're playing, which they renamed Ultimate Wizard. Which I don't
They
know.
added some things though to
What
Ultimate
did they
Wizard.
add?
They added some additional levels, including one that some famous video game person did, whose name I forget, some famous EA person. I looked it up earlier. And they also improved the level designer, which we'll probably talk about later because that's a very interesting
It is.
aspect. But they added the ability to make like
Your own stuff.
special effects in the level editor.
Oh.
Which is badass.
Mm-hmm. So my son got all hot and bothered about the level editor. So I thought that was interesting because he's like, the game's okay, but I can make my own levels? Hook me up. And then I sat down, I'm like, well, there's no way he's going to deal with this crap because it's a Commodore 64 interface level editor. No, he went nuts.
That's great.
I was so happy to see that. I'm like, see, like just quality gameplay and quality tools is timeless.
Level editors are for a certain kind of person that is not me. Like
Yeah.
I don't want to. I don't want to mess with it. Like just like give me the levels. You do it.
Oh, it's him though. He was having a blast. He's like, watch
That's
this.
fantastic.
But he's the kind of guy still. He's at that age where I'm gonna screw the player. Won't that be funny? And we've all made those levels.
Right.
And I think it's cute when you're 7. It's not cute when you're 27. You know.
Right. And like a major publisher.
And a
of
major
video
publisher.
games.
Less fun. I've paid money for this. I have to do it because he's my kid. I don't have to do it because you work at Sierra. Just saying.
I thought we were moving past this.
We will never move past that part of Sierra. Anyway. Yeah. So as you get started, this is possibly... I'm going to start with my pit.
Oh wow, you're breaking format, but okay.
Breaking format. Again, off the rails. It's what we do. But it's my only complaint. Why is there a timer on the main menu?
That is a great question. The fact that it repeatedly instructs you to wield the joystick,
That's awesome.
I love that. I love that. But you're right, it's completely unnecessary.
And it doesn't do it for anything else or anywhere else. So the main menu is like, let's go, let's go, let's go.
Right.
Or I'm throwing your ass into demonstration. You're going to have to just sit and think about it.
Yeah.
Until we get done. But demonstration, so like it plays the game a little bit and kind of shows you how it works, which is cool.
Yeah, it was helpful. It gave me some, like, instead of reading the manual,
Yeah.
I watched the demonstration, and you can get like everything you need to know right from the demonstration.
I found multiple versions of the manual.
Oh,
And at first, the first version I found, and probably the one most people will find, is the orange, looks like it was made by early EA, and it's bad. And I'm like, this is not a great version of a manual. It does sort of just what it needs to do. But I'm like, if you're going to take the time to make a book and staple it together and do all that, you could flesh out a few pages. Give me a story. Do some extra shit.
right.
And then I found the original cassette tape this was on.
Ooh.
And those instructions, if you squeeze really hard, fit in the cassette liner. And I'm like, I know what happened. And then I found the new manual, which has a little story and talks about how to get through some levels and is a manual. So at the end of the year, when we're like best or worst manual, I don't know how to do this one because
This might be all three. Well, one of the very, very interesting and possibly one of my favorite facts I learned doing my cursory research is that Sean A. Moore, who developed this game, also wrote 3 Conan novels, and it gets better, worked on the screenplay for Krull, a movie we both kind of love, kind of for different reasons. And it gets even better, though.
I thought you were done.
My favorite thing in the world more than like the laughter of children and carbohydrates and all
Beef
the
jerky.
stuff. No,
The
it's
smell
when
of my
people
sweat.
novelize movies that have no business being novelized. And he also worked on the novelization of the movie Krull,
Oh,
which is amazing. I want to find it so bad. I need to
100%.
read
Because
it.
that's got to be fantastic.
It's so good. Like, can you imagine like just lamenting the fact that Krull is only limited to like the motion picture industry and just like wanting it to break through to other media? And you're like, if only there was a novel.
It made it to Atari.
Oh, that's right. There was the Krull game for Atari.
Kroll's a
Yeah.
powerhouse, baby.
Yeah.
And
It's a
my
franchise of one.
my understanding is Kroll had started out with Gygax wanting to make a D&D movie, and that's the original impetus, that it was supposed to be the first Dungeons and Dragons movie, and just went through production hell and came out the other side as Kroll.
That's like peak 80s shit though. Like you know, you're a video game designer,
Yeah.
you write fantasy novels,
Oh
like
my
it
God.
just it all tracks.
Living the
It's
best
perfect.
life, right? Like,
Totally. Yeah, that's the dream, man. That's what you want to do. You want to and run like a really solid D&D campaign, I'm
yeah.
sure.
Well, you can't do all that if you haven't. I mean, that's just.
Right. Right, because what are you
And I
going to
don't
base your
mean
fantasy novel on?
emotionally. I mean, by the law, they require you.
Right. Right. They check your
It's
papers.
like, let me see your D&D campaign. I need to see your notebook. Show me your notebook.
Oh.
Invisibility.
So, yeah. So anyway, point being, I'm surprised that they shorted story in the manual at all, given Sean A. Moore's writing chops.
Yeah. No, but I think he just had to condense everything onto that cassette tape. And
That's a
then
sad story.
when they got it out, they got to a box and could do some more stuff. That is. Speaking of which, the box I have on the side is like one of the original boxes I found. I love that one best.
Yeah.
The one from EA, the guy in the blue cloak just standing there looking into the camera. It doesn't. There's no action. There's no story. There's nothing going on. There's nothing
Yeah.
great about it. So
Yeah, you definitely picked the best of the many box art versions of Wizard. And also, on a sad note,
oh
my last Sean A. Moore fact, he died in 1998,
oh.
which is commonly regarded as the best year of video gaming.
Also by an audience of one.
Yeah.
I mean, for start, you might be right here. Hang on.
Oh, are we going to do this again? Midstream? Are we going to go have this argument about 1988 versus 1998?
Did you not hear the words I just said? What did
What
I
did
say?
you say? I don't know. I wasn't listening. I was thinking about 1998.
I said you might be right. Let me look at something.
Okay.
No, you're incorrect.
Uh-huh.
Because there's one game that I would have to give you the argument for. Because
Half-Life.
no, since we've played it, it's stuck in my head. TIE Fighter.
TIE Fighter.
That's
What year did
such
that
a
come
good
out?
game. 94.
94. Ahead of its time.
Ahead of its time. Did it though? I thought. Oh, we've been doing this a long time, haven't we?
Yeah,
like
we
it wasn't
have.
20 years old when we did it though. I'm like, holy shit, it wasn't.
It
Oh
was.
my god. Anyway, now that
Yeah,
I'm
we've been doing a lot of these.
looking at the gray in here and going, oh yeah, we did. Yeah.
Yep.
Anyway, off topic. But yeah, TIE Fighter. And that falls into my span of 85 to 95. Like, I think that pack of games basically from Bard's Tale 1 through TIE Fighter and Interstate 76, that run of games, that's just golden era computer gaming.
Totally.
There's stuff like this from before, like this is 84 and this is good, but
Yeah.
like how many people have ever talked to you about Ultimate Wizard or Wizard? Not many.
Just you.
Yeah,
Just you.
me.
Yeah. Where's Mario? Yeah, this is really, really platformy, and like there's not much to say about it because like you're seeing it, Like you're running, you're jumping, you're avoiding evil knights and rocks
Right.
and birds, which I fucking hate birds in every video game.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
I will.
and you're this little wizard, and you get killed, and your hat flies off, and you kind of bounce on the screen.
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
will
good.
say this is the screen I noticed something graphically. Like when he goes up the stairs, his feet tilt. Like they didn't have to animate that. They put a lot of
Oh yeah,
attention into little details in this game graphically. So while it's not obviously the most impressive thing that's ever been made,
hmm.
they cared. And
Oh yeah,
it
yeah,
shows. It's smooth, it flows, nothing feels jarring or jerky or disproportionate. And so even though it doesn't have a background like Zorro, I still think the graphics in this are better than
yeah.
Zorro just because they do what they're supposed to do.
Right. It it moves well. Did you notice that you could, or I'm sure you did, that you can change the speed of the game by holding a number down when it loads? What
Yes.
speed did you play on?
I always just played on 5.
Yeah.
I'm like,
I
let's just take the average experience and see. I think, however, when you like get good and want to start like, doing speed runs and stuff,
mhm.
up your bonus for the maximum high score, you'd want to crank that thing up to 9. Or if you wanted a real challenge, like you're challenging your friends on Saturday night, like, all right, asshole, play on 1. Let's see you get out of the way of the fucking bird now.
Mhm. Totally. Yeah, I tried a bunch. I ended up liking around 6 or 7 the
I
most.
can see that. I can see that
It's a good
because
speed.
5 was good, but there were a couple times I was like, just put a little hustle in it, guy. Come on,
Yeah. I
little
mean,
little
it
faster.
flows really well though, like from a control standpoint. It wasn't flawless, but like it moves better than like Donkey Kong, and I know like Donkey Kong came out first and was like
A little
the
bit
first
first.
platformer, but is
Argue.
Donkey Kong the first platformer?
I think there's some argument between like Donkey Kong and Pitfall
Mm.
as to which one really nailed it. Arguably, Donkey Kong like did all the things.
Hmm.
It's kind of like there was a game called Beneath Apple Manor before Rogue,
Hmm.
but Rogue is what we all know.
Right, right. We don't say beneath Apple Manor like,
Right.
thank God.
No joke.
Yeah,
So,
like probably, you know, I'll I had a hard time when I started this because I was like very committed to getting all the shit on the screen. And that is really not going to be how you want to play this.
this that is a thing that reminds me of like a Doom level design mentality where there's do you get through fast and get a high bonus? Do you gather all the stuff? Do you do it safely where you don't lose any guys? You know, what is your goal when you sit down to play this? And you can really pick your own goals and have a good experience.
Hmm.
And that's crazy.
It's very nice.
It's nice. And it's not something I see a lot of games do anymore where they feel like they have to give you a set goal. This is just like, here's a bunch of things we're measuring.
Hmm.
See how far you can get while doing them, and then you get to pick. Like, I hate the scorpion at the top, by the way. I
Yeah.
cannot
I
jump
mean,
him, and ever.
yeah. Yeah, it's pretty hard. Like I thought it was I thought it was definitely challenging.
When
Uh,
I played this as a kid, I constantly got stomped. I was no good at it. I've gotten better, but first time playing it, you're just gonna get pounded.
yeah, it definitely takes some time if you play this to get acclimated to it, and like it's hard to know what's going to kill you at first.
Hmm.
Like I got killed a lot of times by things that I didn't think should kill me necessarily.
There were a
Um,
couple spots on like level like where I'd smush in between blocks that I didn't think I should smush in. That just all of a sudden I'm dead, and I'm like, well, no, hey, come on. This
yeah.
level too, that little thing above the volcano. There's like
Hmm.
3 pixels you can barely see.
Hmm.
They'll kill you,
Yep, they'll
and
kill you.
you wouldn't think that, but they will.
The terrain kills you, I
Hmm.
think.
You fall too far, it kills you.
Hmm. Yeah, it's not really but you learn it. Like it becomes clear. It's not like you feel like you're randomly dying all
Right.
the time.
No, and you can
Uh,
usually get a sense of, oh, I got smushed there, or I got this there, I got that there. Um, it very much follows the easy to learn, difficult to master
mhm.
thing for a game.
Yeah, very much. And the thing that impressed me the most was the level designs because it's so varied
Hmm.
and it doesn't give you the same problem over and over again to
No.
solve. Like you have very limited tools because you have like your magic spells, which are a great addition,
Hmm.
and you have like running and jumping, but you can like figure out a flow if you want to maximize your treasure. Like there's a lot happening and it's all doable. Uh, and it feels different
And
all the
it's
time, or
fast,
not
but
all the
not
time,
too
but
fast. And
right.
eat it, thief.
Nice. I was like, oh, it's gonna get you.
I thought it might.
Hit him
Yeah,
with the
so
old
it keeps
fireball.
changing stuff up. And there's 40 levels, and I think that's the right amount.
Yeah,
Like, more than that just feels, I'm never going to finish this.
totally. I really liked the way they managed the difficulty mechanic too, because
Hmm.
there's like, is it four difficulty
Yeah,
levels? And like the easiest just starts you at level like one,
right,
and intermediate or whatever the normal one is starts you at level 10.
right,
And so they just kind of bounce you through.
right.
uh this this phantom archer guy is
Hmm.
really annoying to deal with. um
And what I
I,
like about that too is like it gives you another sort of decision to make within the game in terms of, do I want, like, I just got through 10 levels, so I get two more wizards
mhm,
and then get to keep playing. So do I want to just start at level 10 by increasing the difficulty and not go through all that crap? Or do I want to go through it, get a higher score, and two extra lives when I get to 10 if I can pull it off?
totally. Yeah. And it keeps the mechanics the same. It's
Yeah.
not like the bad guys are suddenly going to be faster because you're
No.
on a higher difficulty level. And like I liked how it was, and I didn't want it to change the mechanics on me. So I was
Mm-hmm.
kind of like relieved when I cranked up the difficulty, that it was still the same game.
Right. Like you
Yeah.
didn't put it on expert and it's like, now it's an RTS. Motherfucker.
Hmm.
And that sounds
Right.
a bit ridiculous, but I've seen games that have changed the game. Like, no, you really need to be doing this now. So, what do you think
Yeah.
about the sound?
The sound is so interesting because there's no music, but everything makes a noise. So it's kind of this like ever changing tapestry of sound,
Mm-hmm.
which is generous. But I really liked that aspect of it. Like the screen is really busy, the sound is really busy. There's just a lot happening
But it's
all
never
the time.
annoying, and you're always clear what the sound is and what it's signaling, and it's, you know,
Hmm.
the jumps, the climbing, the shimmying down ropes, the picking up treasures. It's just, it's always some little feedback of, here's a cool thing, here's a cool thing.
Yeah, yeah. That I thought was one of the more interesting aspects of it
Mm-hmm.
was like how much sound is happening. It's almost like there's music sometimes. There's just like
Because there's so
so
much
much
going
going
on. Yeah.
on. Yeah, very cool.
Uh,
This came out. This was not hugely popular, and they blame that on Jumpman
yep.
because Jumpman came out at the same time. It was very similar, but like kind of sci-fi y because you're like defending some Jupiter base in Jumpman. I don't know.
You
Um,
wouldn't know it in Jumpman.
yeah.
Jumpman is exactly why I wanted to do this one before Jumpman.
Do you think this is a superior game? I don't think
I
I've played Jumpman.
100% think this is a superior game.
Hmm.
But they're very similar. Jumpman Jr. is better than Jumpman, but I don't feel like Jumpman has the heart this game has.
Totally. I love the little animations and the death when you die. You kind of it's almost like peak like 80s platforming. Like if you were going to show an 80s platformer in a movie, this would be the one that I would pick
Yeah.
because it's like so what it is. Maybe that's a dumb statement, but
It is what
it's
it
like,
is.
it is what it is.
That's for our merch shop. Matt's face. It is what
Yeah.
it is. We don't have a merch shop. Anyway,
No, thank God.
somebody went, they have merch? Like, no, I don't. We don't care. No. Yeah, it is. Jumpman's good. I'm not. I don't want angry comments about they hate Jumpman. I don't hate Jumpman.
You don't.
I don't feel like Jumpman. I don't feel as connected to the humor or the anything else in Jumpman that I felt with this. I felt a real like I don't know how to describe it. It's like I felt a real connection with the wizard. No, I didn't, because it's just a little bunch. It's a jumpy
charming.
action game.
It's a very charming little game, and it's like fun and it feels good to play it. Like it's a good time.
I'm trying to think of like, imagine if Pac-Man was just a square.
Yeah.
Like it could be exactly the same game, but without that mouth moving, and if it's just a square, like, and I feel like Jumpman is missing some of the rounding and animations that make it more entertaining.
Right. No, that makes total sense to me.
Yeah. So that's why I wanted to show people this, because I don't think it gets enough attention. We will eventually do Jumpman and we'll talk about it. And this will come up again because, as far as I'm concerned, you have to compare them. What did you think about spells? We kind of mentioned that shortly.
I liked them a lot. Like it gave you some options to solve problems. You didn't always have to use them, which I appreciated. Like you can use them to get additional treasure. I think it's a really cool addition to the game that I really appreciated, because I think it would be maybe a little dry if you didn't have them.
Yeah.
What is that what you think?
Well, I was going to say, how did you feel about actually using them?
The mechanics of using them?
Yeah, the physical mechanics of using them. Because Commodore joysticks have one button.
Right. I had some trouble with levitate.
Oh, I can see that. Yeah.
You know, I can't think of a better way to do it.
Did you use spacebar, or did you hold the button and pull down?
I held the button and pulled down. Probably that's why I had so many problems with levitate.
Exactly. That's why I was like, I've tried that, but I just don't get consistent results with it, so I use the spacebar. And I remember as a kid, I would like lean back on my desk and put my foot on there and just tap it with my toes.
Yeah. Back before we knew about posture and stuff.
Yeah. Like, oh.
Yeah.
Because otherwise you got to take your hand off and like slam it.
Yeah. That's actually really smart.
So.
But your keyboard probably smells like feet.
Yeah. A lot of stuff in my house smells like feet.
Yeah, I should have. I always did it just with the joystick.
Well, if you ever play it again, try
Yeah.
it with the thing and see if that makes a difference. One feels like quick reference. Construction kit.
Yeah,
Should we
let's
move
talk
on
about
to that?
Yeah. Do you have any footage of it?
Don't. Sorry.
I didn't really mess with it too much. Like I said, I'm more of a just give me the levels and let me do it kind of kid.
Basically, like, you pick a level you want to load, 0 through 99. There are 40 pre-built, so you can edit these levels and tweak them. Like, even if you're having a hard time with a level, you're like, God, that jump's just too far for me. editor, boop, go back in.
No more jump.
No more. No, it's not a hard thing. Like now you can just make your jump. All right. Or take enemies out, or add more spells for you, or change the timer speed, or whatever you want to make the game for you. And I just think that's so great.
Yeah, that is really, really good.
I died there because I fell on the lock, which bothers me. Anyway,
yeah, I know that's one of the things that
feel like that shouldn't have killed me, but did. But I also think, it's my fault because I didn't see that last treasure up there to unlock the key.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so you get this screen, and then at the bottom you've got a row of all the cursors and things you can use. And you just cycle through them till you find the one you want to put on the screen. Use your arrow keys to move around. And can even set it so that when you paint a block, what does the cursor do? Does it like move forward? Does it move back? Does it move up? So if you're going to do a row of things going down, you can set the cursor spacing and just go pap, 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 pap. Or the other way.
Yeah, I could totally see trading levels with your friends and all that business.
If this was released today, there would be an internet page somewhere of levels to play, and that would be cool. There probably is, because it's the internet and there's enough retro people that someone's still making wizard levels, but
no doubt,
not a lot.
Yeah.
You will need the instructions for navigating the construction kit because there's nothing on screen to tell you what to do.
Yeah.
And it's kind of confusing. If you're doing it in an emulator, you'll have to like know what some of the keys are. Like tab is control on Vice because control is Commodore or something like that. So you gotta kind of learn where stuff is. But
which is probably a good exercise if you're messing around with emulators because they're always weird and like you just have to learn what those little differences are, like how the keyboard maps and all that stuff. So yeah.
So yeah, if you're coming
that
in
night.
No, the night's good. All the graphics are like they're not gonna blow me away. There's a cartoony aspect to them, but at the same time, they're consistent with each other and they're fun.
Mm-hmm. I like how big some of them are. I'm a sucker for a big sprite.
Oh yeah,
yeah, I like it.
I like that they play with sprite sizes too, like those little beetle things. They have places where they've stretched them out and made them bigger, and
totally
they do that with fireballs on some of the later levels where they have fireballs raining at you, and some of them are huge and some of them are small. And I
very
think
good.
Yeah, level design is
platformers.
Solid. Yeah,
this is one to play. I think. Fuck Jumpman. I shouldn't say that. I've never played Jumpman. I just got caught up in the moment.
I can't get my emotions carried away with me.
You know how I get.
I do, especially about your platformers. Jumpman's fine. Jumpman's a classic for a reason, but man, I love this game.
Yeah.
I just feel it's a better game. So,
yeah.
All right. So that's that. Just because you get better at levels does not mean they're necessarily easy. Like, as you get better at the game, it's still possible to get distracted or get cocky and have this game hand you your ass.
Yeah. I found the bad guys, and maybe I just didn't get good enough, but I found them unpredictable enough that I couldn't just like, okay, I'm going to lure them over here and then it's going to be fine. But, there's always some fucking bird or something that like gets to you. So it's not like it's not the same all the time.
Yeah, you're not going to memorize a path because of the bad guys. And you can very easily mistime stuff if you're not paying attention. But it's not moving so fast that you are constantly on that twitch sort of thing.
Right.
Like, you can, like, okay, I got a second. Here comes the jump. And it's a good pace, especially for us older guys.
Right. Totally.
And the level names we talked about, which are fantastic.
Yeah, I loved all the level names that I saw. My peak and pit, my pit was when I first started. I like climbed to the top of the trellis on like I think it's level 10, the first intermediate level basically. and I took a step and I died. And I was like, "Oh, this game is just gonna like it's gonna be like
It's like that, is it?
yeah. What was that game based on the children's book? Oh, Beneath the Root, where I felt
Yeah.
like it just killed me all the time, and you tell me I'm wrong, but I am not wrong. And I was like, it's gonna be like that. Like this game is just gonna be really annoying because I won't know it
Hmm.
won't be a known quantity. Uh, and my peak was figuring out to just grab the key and move on.
Hmm.
Because when I did that, my score ended up being higher because I wasn't just hurling myself at the same level. Like I
Right.
started like uh, taking advantage of the circumstances more
Hmm.
to collect treasure when it was convenient instead of just like hurling myself at the same treasure over and over again,
Right.
trying to get everything off the screen. So once I started beating levels, I was like, okay, like I'm into this now. I get it. Like I've figured out what's going to kill me. I figured out I can kind of leave when I want
Hmm.
sometimes. And then it became a lot more fun.
And that's my recommendation for anyone playing this for the first time is don't try to go for high score, try to go for distance.
Hmm.
See as much as you can because you'll find levels that appeal to you that you are going to want to spend a lot of time getting treasures on, and ones where you know, like, this is one I get in, I get out. I don't want to deal with the bird or the jump or the thief
Totally.
or the cat. I don't
Or
like
the
the cat
800
and the rat one.
teleporters.
I do think the cat and rat one's cute because the cat will eat the rat. I think that's
Yeah.
funny, but I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because it's two enemies moving around that you're just gonna get trapped and
Yeah.
so yeah. So that was your that's a good peak. Mine was getting to level 30 for the first time.
Oh, wow. Good job.
Yeah, it's like did it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
I just bounced around and like played a bunch of difficulty levels, got through a bunch of different levels. I never made a concentrated effort to start at the beginning and just see how far I
Hard to get.
could get.
The other reason, and this is gonna sound crazy, but I'm just thinking about this didn't do as well as Jumpman. And I genuinely believe part of the reason is Jumpman was Epic's. This was
Hmm.
EA. Eventually EA.
Hmm.
But precipitous peripherals, or what were they?
They were
Progressive
progressive
peripherals
peripherals. Yeah.
and
Peripherals?
software.
Peripherals?
Like, they're not going to compete with Epic's.
No, Epix was a powerhouse.
Even EA back then could do okay, but Epic's for the Commodore 64 was just. I had friends who had a few EA things, but
Hmm.
this also, I read this somewhere. This had some copy protection on it
Really?
that was particularly nasty. If it detected that you had a pirated copy, it would format the disk,
Ouch.
which isn't a problem unless new hardware comes out and confuses the copy protection
Oh, that's not nice.
and formats your legally bought wizard disk, which
That
is
sucks.
not cool. Copy
Did that happen to
protection,
you?
not once, not ever.
Yeah.
No, it didn't happen to me, but it had happened to several people. So I think that's a little funny, but at the same time, oh God, that would suck. Like, how do
Yeah.
you explain it? Like, you can't return it to the store. Like, my disk is blank. Like, what do they?
Right, totally. I don't know if I've changed or if like video game piracy has changed, but now it just seems like why bother? Like I know people still do it. Uh
I mean, so
maybe I just have more money now.
that's some of it. Games have come down in price a lot. Is some of it.
Hmm.
The distribution model is different too.
Hmm.
In that, like, a lot of the times I pirated a game because it was not purchasable anywhere.
Right.
I was never going to get Bozo's Night Out. That wasn't going to be in a catalog I could order or at my local software, etc. That was
Sure.
I got that from a friend. F-15 Strike Eagle. Yeah, I probably could have bought that. But I didn't like it that much, so I
Yeah.
didn't.
Right.
Which we should play sometime. Just do a really old school flight simulator because those are something to themselves. Like just see where it started.
Yeah. I like Jet Fighter too. I think that was one of my favorite.
I'll have to check that out.
It was good. It was like really polygonal, but it was fun. Like I'd buzz around and
Yeah.
buzz the tower like Maverick.
What was the we checked out a game when we worked at Software Etc. There was a flight simulator. We brought it home and it said our hard drive had negative like 2 gigs of space.
Oh, what was that?
Do you remember what that was?
No, I don't.
Yeah, that I do not miss
That
the
was a
era
weird bug.
where software could get confused by computer hardware. I don't miss that.
Yeah. Yeah. It was just difficult to get games to work in that era too. Like you were bumping up against the memory constraints a lot. It was just oftentimes a total nightmare, and that's what I credit for my IT career is just like trying to get some game to work and having to dig in. Like I don't use any of that knowledge anymore because who edits config sys
Only as DOS boxes.
auto exec? Yeah. But the approach to it is what I credit for my IT career because it's like, okay, I need to solve this problem. I just need to like learn how this works.
Right. And enjoying the tech behind it. Like,
Yeah.
I do feel like because of what I just said, where like it all just sort of works. I mean, sometimes it still doesn't, but not like it didn't used to. I feel like a lot of the magic and enjoyment I got out of tech is gone.
Yeah.
And that's sad. But at the same time, would I rather just play my game? Yeah, I'm not going back. I don't want video rental stores back either, but I miss going on Thursday night and checking out a game.
Totally. Yeah.
Yeah, we kind of got off track there at the end, but that's what we do.
Yeah. I
Anything
think that
else you
should
wanna-
just about do it for Wizard.
Yeah.
You've seen it. We've talked about it.
All right, long game. You know what it is.
I do know what it is.
Boo, Master of Magic.
Yes.
I know you're playing it.
I am playing it.
I am playing it. We will talk about it in a couple weeks. Actually, is it a couple weeks? Let's make sure, because my weird schedule. No, we will talk about it in 3 weeks.
3 weeks. Holy cow! I'll be able to play so much Master of Magic in 3 weeks.
No, aren't you lucky?
I like that.
24th, 31st, and the 7th. So the 7th is the first Saturday of the next month. That is when we record. And we will release on the 8th.
Very good.
So short game. I said I have a short game that might get you to stop playing some Master Magic.
Tell me the short game. Oh, okay. Scorched Earth. Are we gonna network and play this together?
I think we should try, right?
Oh God, I've spent so many hours playing Scorched Earth. I love it.
Obviously, I don't think there's a box. This was a shareware game from back in the day. Tanks shooting at each other with
I think we just had the whole
weapons.
episode conversation.
Yeah. If you haven't played Scorched Earth, check it out. It's not the mother of all games, but it's good. You can find it. It's a little hard to track down because, like I said, it's shareware DOS.
Yeah,
But Scorched Earth, baby.
let's do it. That's
do it.
exciting.
And then this Thursday, we will do another Nox Archaist.
Yes.
And then, yeah,
Then that's that.
that's that. It is what it is.
Trademark.
All right. Anything else we want to say before we go?
No, that's it. Thanks, everyone.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Have a good time.
Big thank you to all of you watching, sharing, liking, subscribing, suggesting games, commenting on our videos, or supporting us on Patreon. We appreciate all of your support and look forward to sharing many more videos with you. Thank you again.